In today's video, we're going to check out the Wyze Cam Outdoor. I'm going to show you how to set it up and everything new that it can do. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. So Wyze was nice enough to send out a pre-release version of the Wyze Cam Outdoor so that I could check it out for you guys. So let's go ahead and show you what's inside. So here is the starter bundle. So inside comes the Wyze Cam Outdoor and one base station. So you can actually pair 4 Wyze Cam Outdoor cameras to one base station, and these are wire-free, which is just really cool. And the battery life is about 3 to 6 months per Wyze Cam. So here you can download the Wyze application in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. So here's some more info about the specifications. So it does use Wi-Fi, and then here are some of the features. So it has 1080p full HD live streaming. It has 6 months rechargeable battery life, wire-free, IP65 weather-resistant, free rolling 14-day cloud storage for 12-second event videos, PIR motion detection, night vision, as well as expandable storage. Now it does say you can use up to a 32 gig SD card. I have a little bit bigger one today that we're gonna try and see if that works. It did not. So here inside the box, there is the Wyze Cam Outdoor. And then in here, there is the base station, pretty small, and a little cool Wyze Cam Outdoor sticker. Then in here we have a power cable, micro USB cable, and a Ethernet cable. And then here you have anchors and screws to mount the cam. And deep inside here is some instructions as well. I really like this is a recyclable box. Good job on the packaging, Wyze. All right, so let's first take a look at the outside of the Wyze Cam here. So it looks pretty familiar. Right here on the front, this is the light sensor. There you have the lens. Here you have a microphone. And then here on the bottom, you have the mounting plate, and it is removable just with a little force. You can easily pull that off, but it's really nice that that just magnetizes right on there. And then I like that it does have an option. You can mount this on a tripod or something else, so it's great that that is built in. Now looking at the back, here is where you have the on and off switch. All right, got it open. So here on the back, you have an on and off switch, and here you have a micro USB port so that you can charge the camera. And then here you also have a status light, so that will tell you if it is on or what it is doing. So then also on the back here, so if we open up the mount, on the bottom here, you have a sync option, and then you have the spot for the micro SD card. And then here on the bottom, you do have the mounting hole. So it makes it nice. You can take this off, mount it where you want, and then you can easily attach it into place just like that. So over here on the base station, it looks like it does have a USB port, so you could charge the Wyze Cam from it. There you have a reset button. Here you have the LAN port, the power port, and then over here you have a sync button and a slot for the micro SD card as well. And on the bottom, it does have the option to mount this with a screw right there. And it's got these antennas. So I like that you could mount it like this, or you could have it just sit flush like that. So let's get this plugged in and set up. To get it set up, the first thing we need to do is download the Wyze application. So I already have this set up because I do already have some Wyze cams. And in here you can see my other Wyze cams that I currently am using. And so the first thing we're going to do is set up the base station. So we're going to plug that in. Now, if you're curious, the cable here is about 5 feet long. So we're just going to plug that in. And now we're going to select the plus, and we're going to select add device. And then scrolling through here, we have Wyze base station. The first thing it tells us is to make sure you're connected to the Wi-Fi network. So here I am connected to Wi-Fi. So we're gonna select next, plug the base station into the power and to your router. Oh, I need to do that. And then up here you see a status light, and you need to wait till it is solid blue. So there you can see it is currently flashing. So the light is solid blue. Next. And now this is connecting the base station to the hub. So now it is asking us to name our base station. So let's go ahead and name this office base. Finish. And usually there's an upgrade available, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, the update is complete. So we're gonna select done. Here it's saying, oh no, you haven't paired any outdoor cams yet. So now we're going to do that. Add Wyze Cam Outdoor. So it says flip the power switch behind the cam. Now this camera is much heavier than the original Wyze Cam. It does have 2 different batteries in here. So that's gonna add to the weight of the device. So you're gonna open this up and flip the switch just like that. And then the status light will be solid. So right now, I don't think I have any power. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So here the Wyze Cam is turning on. It says the light should be yellow and keep within 6 feet of the base station. If the light does not turn on, please plug in the camera to charge. So that's exactly what we did. So we're going to charge that up. While that is charging up, I do want to do a quick comparison between the version 2 and the Wyze Cam Outdoor. So there you can see the size difference between the 2 devices. They also added this new Wyze logo on the top, which looks really cool. And again, the weight. This is so light compared to the Wyze Cam Outdoor. So it's great they added a new mount that you can screw in pretty much anywhere that's gonna stay where you put it. So that is a quick size comparison between the 2. Now that I've charged it up a bit, once you unplug it, then the solid yellow light is there. So on the bottom, I'm just going to
Pairing is in progress. Please wait.
Press the sync, and there it gave me a notification that it was pairing.
Setup is complete.
So now it's asking to give it a name. Let's go ahead and just call it Wyze Outdoor and select finish. So now you do have the option to share with other people in your family, so you can invite them to do that. I'm going to select maybe later, and the setup is complete. Now it's going to take you through the steps to mount the camera. So here you would need a screwdriver. You can use the screws, and then you want to make sure you avoid direct sunlight, avoid general traffic. So if you're mounting this by a road and you're just getting a lot of traffic going by, you're going to get a ton of notifications, and also avoid waving branches, as that will set off the notification. So then you also want to check the Wi-Fi strength for wherever you're setting this up. So you can check it here before you actually mount it, and right here it's great. And then here it's going to take you through the steps to get this installed. So we're going to skip that right now, and we're going to check out some of the things we can do with this. So quick setup unlocked. Add new cams instantly by pressing the sync button on your base station and your new outdoor cam. So I actually did order my own starter bundle. So when that arrives, I can just take the new outdoor cam, press the sync button on it and on the base station, and they will pair together. And again, you can set up 4 outdoor cams with 1 base station. So select got it. And the last thing here, physically adjust your Wyze Cam Outdoor device so that the highlighted area is within the detected zone. You can do this later in your settings, and we are all set. So here it's giving me an error, critical battery, so I do need to charge it up a bit more, but there you can see I am already there. So just like the other Wyze Cam, you have all the settings here. Up here at the top, you have the option to change from night vision. I can turn off night vision. So now it's on. And here at the top, you can see it looks like 4 night vision sensors on the top. And then we can turn that off. Here I can hear from the Cam Outdoor. And it's slightly delayed. But it sounds really crisp and clear. Here I can record what's on screen. Here I can speak through. How are you doing? Here I have the option to take a photo of what I see. And then under here we have more options. So you can create time lapses, you can schedule recording, do albums, turn on the motion tagging. So that's when you see the green boxes around the cameras. That's how you can turn that on and off, or you can turn off the camera. Now I want to mention right here one of the main features missing from the V2 on the outdoor cam, which is the playback feature. So it doesn't have the option to record everything because that would just take too much battery. So now that we have this set up, I'm going to go and get it fully charged up, go install it outside, and then I'll show you some more of the things that you can do with the Wyze Cam Outdoor. Before mounting the camera, I held it up in a few different places, holding out the phone to see exactly what I was going to be seeing to find what worked best. Now I want to see if somebody's coming close to the door, so I ended up mounting it further away. And then next is to test the connection. That looks great, so now we're going to mount this. So first we just need to put in the screw. I already had a hole in my aluminum here, so I screwed it in. Then we need to pull off the camera from the mount. Now there are 2 holes, but you only need to use one of the holes to place it on the screw. Tighten it up, and then you can place on the cam. And the last step is to align it exactly where I want using the application. And now we have it fully installed. Now, after getting it mounted, I did pull it off to charge it up. Here we're at 54% at 4:45, and then by 6:18 it was at 100%. So beware, it does take some time to charge up, but you should only have to pull it off every few months, charge it up, and then put it back. So don't mount it too high. So I finally found an SD card that works, so let's go put this in, format it, and then see what the outdoor cam can do. Now, one thing I do want to note is the SD card I'm using, I pulled out of another Wyze Cam, and putting it in here, it does not let me see any of the files from that. So you will want to make sure that you take all those off or save anything you want on there before you put it into your outdoor cam. So in here in the settings, advanced features, and then micro SD card, here you can see that it's almost full. So I'm going to go ahead and format it so we can use it now with our outdoor cam. All right, now it is ready to be used. So now, even though we just added the SD card, let me show you what you can do without an SD card. So under the events tab here, you do see each notification. So it's gonna show you 12 seconds that it recorded. Here you can see one of the notifications, and it will store up to 14 days of notifications. So now let's head into the camera itself. So next we have the option to record what we see. So if I'm looking at the camera, I can select the record right here, and I can record that, and when I'm done, it will save that directly to my phone. So no SD card needed in the outdoor cam for that. And also that's for taking a photo. So you can simply just take a photo, it will save it to your phone. So if we go into more and you want to use the time-lapse feature or the schedule recording, you will need an SD card for those different features. All right, so next I wanted to test the range of the Wyze Cam Outdoor. So here we are outside. I'm a few walls away. I can still see my house, pretty visible. Well, let's just keep going and see what happens. I'm watching right here on the phone to see how it does. So I'm pretty far. There's the house back there. Wow, it is still working. All right, so I was able to walk about 50 meters away with it still connected and recording, which is really cool. And then it kind of died out, and that's probably the limit. But I think the sunset's about to come, so let's jump to a time-lapse. So now let's check out the time-lapse feature. So we have our Wyze Cam here on the tripod, and then I'm gonna go to more, and I'm gonna go to time-lapse. So here you have so many options. So here I have custom, where I can create a time-lapse and start it now, and I can choose the duration. And this is really cool. So let's say I wanna do it for like 2 hours, and then down here, I wanna choose how often it's going to take a picture. And at the bottom, you'll notice that it's changing the length of the video. So before you even start recording, you can see how long your total video is going to be, which I think this is so cool. Hopefully we see this come to the other cams, but right now on the outdoor cam, it's awesome. Then you also have these other options where you can choose sunrise or you can choose a sunset, and it's automatically going to take the time in your location and create those. You also have these other options. Here we have flower blossom, and then here we have cloud. So I tried out the cloud one already. So let's go ahead and try out the sunset. So it says it's going to start at 8:47, and then it's going to be 50 minutes long, but let's go ahead and change this. So it allows us to choose a custom time. So let's say we're gonna start at 8:15. So we're gonna select save, and then it's gonna choose how long. So we can do an 1 hour and 40-minute time lapse. So it's only letting me do certain times, and we're gonna make this 20-second long. And here it says it's gonna estimate about 80 meg, which is really cool. So now I just need to hit set, and then it will automatically record that time lapse without me doing anything else. Here is the clouds time lapse I recorded earlier today. It was so easy to just place the camera, hit clouds and start, and it came out great. I'm loving the colors on the Wyze Cam Outdoor. Okay, so now let me show you some other ways in which you can mount the Wyze Cam Outdoor. So here on the bottom, you do have a part that you could put on a tripod. Now I did run into some issues because it's recessed inside the camera. It was a bit harder to do. Like over here, this tripod mount right here wasn't able to go in and then stick on the tripod. And another one I tried wasn't able to work, but I do have this little attachment where you can easily screw this on, and then I can screw the attachment onto here. So that's how I'm going to mount this onto a tripod that I could use for travel mode. So as long as the top is smaller and can fit in there, you shouldn't have any issues. Now this tripod mount is a bit funny. It needs kind of a flat part to rub against, so I'm not sure if that's gonna work well. Now for my use, it looks like this attachment is going to be best. All I need to do is put the outdoor cam in here and tighten it down. And now we are ready to record. So let's put this into travel mode. So to put the outdoor cam into travel mode, you just need to push the sync button twice. And there it gave me a notification that travel mode is enabled. So next we need to head into our Wi-Fi settings, and here you can see the Wyze camera. So I can just jump right into that. And then I'm going to head back into the Wyze application. And here in the settings, here we have travel mode. So travel mode lets you record videos on the go, no internet connection or base station required. A micro SD card is required to save videos. So we're gonna select continue. So it says turn it on, and then you're going to wait till it flashes blue. And then we're going to double press the sync button on the bottom. And now it is authenticating. So here we have the outdoor cam, and it's asking us to set a password. So this is to prevent anybody from joining your cam and seeing your information. So we're going to create a password here, so it's locked to that password. So once you add the password, we now need to head back into the Wi-Fi settings, and we are going to reconnect to the camera with that password. All right, and now it has connected. So let's head back into here, jump into the Wyze Cam, and there is the camera again. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So it looks like you are pretty much able to do everything you would do if you were connected to the base station at home. You have all of those controls. So let's go ahead and start recording. Now I wasn't able to spend a ton of time using travel mode, but I easily set up this time lapse. I did have a few issues where it kept disconnecting. Maybe that's to save battery life, but once you got something set up like a schedule recording or a time lapse, it seemed to work pretty well. When you're done using travel mode, press the sync button once, and then it will reconnect to the base station. Sometimes I did have to turn it on and off to fully reconnect. Now let's go over how the mic and speakers sound. Hey, you kids, get off the lawn.
Why don't you come out here and make me? I'm just gonna jump on your trampoline.
Hey, you kids, get off my lawn.
Alright, so this is what the mic sounds like on the outdoor cam from about 6 feet away, and here we're about 10 feet away. Of course, I'm talking directly to the camera. I don't know, 15, 20 feet away. There you go.
Now let's go over event notifications. So here in the settings, you have the option to adjust detection. So you can adjust the detection of close to far, low to high. So right now we have it set at 50. And here you can see at the bottom of the video, that green box is kind of where most of the detection is happening with the new PIR sensor. When it detects motion, it's then going to record 12 seconds. And here is the first video. You can see it started while I was halfway through the frame detecting that motion. So at 50, it's not very high in detecting motion. And here with another notification, it started while I was about halfway through. So let's increase the settings a little bit here, and then let's test this out in night vision. So there it caught me coming outside. It did take just a second to see me, but it fully caught me stealing my kids' play kitchen. Now this next one here really surprised me. So you can see that I came from the back and it was able to pick me up so quickly as soon as it detected me. So that's very impressive. For this next one, I started walking from the back of the yard and it didn't pick me up until I was just a few feet away. Now maybe if I had the camera positioned a little lower, that might work better. I was hoping I'd see a notification quicker than that. And then here I've turned on the motion tagging so you can see that it tags exactly where that motion is coming from. Now here I recorded what it's like walking up to the camera. So the night vision infrared lights are off until it detects that motion, and then you are able to see those lights. So there you can see that they turned on. So whoever's coming up would notice that, and hopefully they would go away. Now the last test is to see if the Cam Outdoor works with my smart display. So here on my Nest Hub, I ask it to show my Wyze Outdoor, and then it says it's going to, and then it shows this screen and it never pops up. Now this is actually the same way it's working with all other Wyze cameras right now, so it's totally broken on Google smart displays. Hopefully they can fix that. Now with the Echo Show here, it is a totally different story. So as soon as I ask it to show me the Wyze Cam Outdoor, just takes a second and it pops up on screen just like you would expect. I ran outside to test the camera real quick to see if there was a delay. So I did the jumping jacks, came back in, and I didn't see myself, but there might be a slight delay. So here you can tap the screen and unzoom so you see the full view of the camera. So great job, Wyze, with Amazon. Let's get Google working. So I've now been using the Wyze Cam Outdoor for a few days, so here is my first impressions review. I definitely need a few more months to do a full review, but here are some of my thoughts. First thing, I love that it has a battery. The two 2600 milliamp batteries should last quite a few months unless you're doing heavy usage. So it was so convenient to just be able to take this and use it anywhere. One of the problems I've had with the other Wyze Cam is I'll always want to use it to kind of get a second shot while I'm recording, but then I have to find a way to plug it in, or I have to drag a cord or whatever. It's just so nice that I could take this anywhere, start recording without any other problem. Now I did notice that there was extreme battery usage when you are in travel mode, so just connecting to it with your phone, it did kill the battery. I think I was at almost 99%, and just using it for a few hours that way, it dropped down to 93%. And then the time-lapse feature also dropped down the battery. So I was at 86%, I did a couple hour time-lapse, and it dropped down to 77%. So I think the battery is so nice to have, but if you are doing heavy usage with it, it may not be the best. You might just want to get a V2 Wyze Cam, but on the go, this is great that it has that battery life. You just may need to have a backup battery to charge it back up if you're doing a ton of things like that. Now, one other thing right off the bat is it is missing the playback feature. So this is the feature where it's constantly recording everything, so you can go back at any time in the SD card and find a specific time and video, but this does not have that. That would just take up too much battery, so you really need to rely on the events that are recorded, and you need to rely on your own recordings, your own pictures, as well as it has the schedule recording, which is really cool. So you can set up a specific time to record, and then it will record that amount of time and stop, or you have the time-lapse feature. So those are the ways that you can record, and that's all to help the battery life. Now, testing out the travel mode, I think this is a really cool feature. If you want to have some time lapses while you're camping, or you want to do certain things, it's really cool that you can pretty much take this anywhere. Pressing the sync button twice to turn it on, and then pressing once to turn it off makes it really convenient to use. There are some improvements that could be made here. Sometimes it was a little confusing when it's connected, when it's not connected to the phone, but maybe that's just because I had so many Wi-Fi networks nearby that I was having issues, but maybe when none of that's around, that won't be a problem, but I had really fun playing with that. Now next, there are a lot of little software tweaks with the Wyze Cam Outdoor that I'd love to see come to the other cameras. I love the new time-lapse feature. It allows you to quickly choose if you want to do a sunrise or a sunset time-lapse. You also have this flower blossom as well as clouds. And here you can see that during this cloud time-lapse, the colors and everything is just so rich, and it really makes these clouds dance, and it was really fun and so simple to get set up. So then looking at the other scheduled recording, this is really nice. Let's say you're gonna have an event or something and you want it to record part of that event outside, you could have it set to record, and then you don't have to worry about going back later and finding that. I know on my other Wyze cams, I'll be searching for hours just to find a minute that I knew I wanted recorded, but I didn't have it scheduled. So this allows you to do that beforehand. You go and schedule the recording, and then when you're done with your event, you can go back and you can see the recording has been done. Now, again, I did mention about the SD card, so you do need to have that 32 gig SD card to really use a lot of these features. I wish it did have the option for higher, so 64 gig, 128, but right now it's set to 32, which is a bit of a bummer. Now, as for build quality of the camera, one of the biggest things I've noticed is the increase of the camera sensor. I don't know if it is a different sensor or what they did, but I love the quality of this. Just looking at it, looks more bright and vibrant than the previous V2. I know this isn't a V2 versus outdoor cam review, but I can tell that there are some major improvements there. I've noticed a lot on my V2 cameras, there's a little graininess to it, but with this, maybe it's just where I set it up, I don't know, but I noticed the camera quality was much better. Then looking at the rest of the device, I think it's great. It has the flaps. They were a bit hard to get open on the back, but it's nice that it's easy to access. And then I do love that it has that new tripod attachment on the bottom, so that you could easily attach a tripod on the go instead of having to try and take off the mount every time you want to use it and take it with you. Now, I've already mentioned some of the things I'd like to see slightly tweaked or adjusted on this, but one more thing is the notifications. So it's using a new sensor in here, the PIR sensor, to improve the battery and hopefully to have less slight movement notifications. But I did notice that with this, if I was coming into the camera view, it usually would catch me about halfway into the view, which you would want it to be a little bit faster than that. I was receiving the notifications to my phone just fine, or as soon as it saw it, but it being a little slow to start recording, I think that is a little bit of a problem. Now, maybe I do need to turn up my sensitivity settings. I do need more time to play with that, but it would be nice to see a little bit more. With that, it only has the option to record the 12 seconds from when it starts seeing you. It doesn't have the option to record longer with the subscription service. Hopefully that's coming soon, but right now that is not available. So with this camera, overall, I'm very pleased with what it can do. One more thing that I didn't mention is how clean it looks compared to another wired camera. So sitting up here, you can see there's no wires connecting to it. And then over here, I have an outdoor Nest cam. It's got this big old wire attachment to it. It's very ugly, so it's really cool that it can all be done completely wireless over here. Now, one other thing that is a bit questionable is the battery life. I've only been using this for a total of 3 days now. I charged it all the way up and I've been using it since, and I'm already at like 68% battery. Now, I have been using the high usage features, so I really don't know how long the battery is gonna last, but when I wasn't using those high end features, I was only losing about 1 to 2% a day. So maybe it could last that 3 to 6 months if you're turning off a lot of the extra features and just using the bare minimum. I think it could do that, but we'll have to see over time how long that battery is going to last. So just prepare to charge it up a little bit more than you might want to. Now, one of the other big differences I noticed between a V2 Wyze Cam and the Cam Outdoor is when you were using it with live view. So if you want to watch what is happening outside. So I created a group of all of these and I let my kids run around to see, and it was really cool to see them go from one cam to the next. So the feed worked really well, but where the Wyze Cam Outdoor struggled is it was only able to show the feed for a certain amount of time, again, to go into that battery saving mode or whatever it does so that it's not using so much battery. So if you are looking for a live feed, you definitely need to go more with the V2. You can see that on the outdoor cam, but it is only able to stay on there for so long or it would drain too much battery. Now, this is my second outdoor camera and I'm very impressed with what it can do. It is completely different having it wireless versus a wired camera, but I think it's pretty capable. So if you're looking for a camera that can be taken on the go, can sit outside without having to worry if it's gonna get water damaged, and you don't mind having another base in your home for the Wyze Cam Outdoor, I can say the Wyze Cam Outdoor is definitely something worth checking out. Compared to other cameras that offer this, it does cost significantly less than those cameras. So I'm really excited about what the Outdoor Cam can do. I do have another one on order already, so I'm excited to set that up and try a few different things with that. And hopefully I'll do another full review after using these for a few months. So if you guys have any further questions about the Wyze Cam Outdoor, please let me know in the comments below. I'll also leave a link to pick it up in the description. And if you want to check out other smart camera reviews, check out my videos over here on the side. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.